Broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the world's leading think tank laboratory, buried deep in an undisclosed building in hostile territory where evil and corruption is exposed. You're about to enter the Tom Trento Show.
Now order, all hands back in battle station.
Tom Trento heads United West, a group that says it defends Western civilization against the onslaught of Islam.
All right, here we are against the onslaught of, all kinds of different things, not just Islamic jihad, but the Marxist, socialist, leftist. See now all the people driving in their automobiles on I-95 on this beautiful Thursday afternoon, August 8th, 2013, when they hear socialist, Marxist, leftist, they're going, oh, this sounds interesting. Or they're going,
left out communist.
Or they're going, who is this right-wing loon whack job? Well, hi, I'm Tom Trent, right-wing loon. You know, I am on Loon Watch.
You are an enemy of the state, yeah. Thomas Trento.
Let me introduce our panel today. We have with us on the far left over there, screen right, CJ.
Oh, that's me.
All the cheers. And who do we have in the middle? Who's this guy? Who's this interloper?
It's an Israeli invasion.
An Israeli invasion.
Yeah.
Ron Wexler, is that your name? Ronnie Wexler? Hey, how you doing? Don't touch my hand, it hurts. Okay, here you go. That's an American joke. You got any Israeli jokes for us?
Not right now, but later in the program.
In a little while, when we're done with Ron, we're going to have President Obama. He's doing the Leno tour. He's going to be here with us. And did you see that stuff the other night?
Oh, my goodness.
I saw the replays, and
did you read the transcript?
I read the transcript, and everybody, Michelle Malkin, a whole bunch of people just teeing off on Obama. But he was so good. I was sitting with a friend watching it, and they said, you know, he looks nice. He has a nice smile. His clothes are impeccably tailored. You know, he carries his clothes nicely. Nice demeanor, nice mannerism.
He cleans up good, therefore he should be president.
He's a clean. Remember Biden?
Yeah.
He's very clean. He's a clean Negro or something like that.
He's be good.
Yeah.
He should have a third term.
A third, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's planning on that.
Have to talk right into that thing, because that was funny actually. He should have a third term. Well, the fact of the matter is, even very intelligent people who understand this stuff are wooed a little bit by the persona, the demeanor of the president, which makes him that much more difficult. I don't care how he dressed up and cleaned up. Adolf Hitler looked like a lunatic. Every time he was up there, he looked like a maniac, unlike President Obama. And President Obama and his policies, because people like the individual and they move in that direction, he's an extremely dangerous man for many of the ideologies that we find incompatible with Western civilization and American republicanism. Hi, everybody.
Well, gosh, what a way to start the day.
Yeah. Well, we're going to the center of the universe. Today's show is going to be on the center of the universe, which is
somewhere around here.
Al-Quds over there. Al-Quds, right? Is that how it's pronounced?
Are we going to talk about Al-Quds Day in Toronto?
Al-Quds.
Al-Quds.
That's so wrong.
That's what, Arabic, right?
That's Arabic for Jerusalem.
For Jerusalem. Do any Israelis refer to it as Al-Quds?
God forbid.
Okay. Only the head of the CIA, John Brennan, can refer to Jerusalem as Al-Quds.
Yeah,
that is because he is Muslim.
But he's not a Muslim.
What do you mean he is not Muslim?
Of course he's not.
Oh, yeah, right.
Do you not speak with John Gondola?
Yeah, we had John on this show, busting the news that John Brennan, now head of the CIA, converted in the late 90s as a station chief for the agency, converted as a station chief in Riyadh, KSA, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And if that sounds bizarre, about 3 months ago, the ambassador from Italy to
Right.
KSA converted to Islam. The ambassador from Italy converted. The Saudis are extremely good at presenting Islam as sort of the connective religion and belief system, bringing Jews and Christians and Muslims together. It has Abraham in it, makes the Jews happy, has Jesus in it, makes the Christians happy. And if you're not analytical and you want to just all get along, you can convert to Islam, still maintain your Jewishness and Christianness in the Saudis' intelligence version of what Islam is. That's why they knock off so many high-level officials in terms of conversions. Very interesting.
I think-
bank accounts could probably
Yeah. You know,
make
I
a factor in
That may
You
be
think?
a factor.
I think they let
could
them
be.
drink whiskey in their hotel rooms without jailing them.
Yeah, that may also be a factor. There's some hidden factors. But the best way to find all of this out is to be on that airplane September 30th, 2013. How many days from now? About 6 weeks or so.
It's about 6 weeks. We're going to be at the airport saying goodbye to everybody and flying to Jerusalem.
To Jerusalem.
Al-Quds.
Al-Quds,
Al-Quds,
right,
Al-Quds.
I don't want to hear anybody saying that.
Al-Quds, okay.
You know how I feel about that. Oh, no, you don't.
No, we have an Islamic imam here with us.
As opposed to a Jewish imam.
What we're going to do today, folks, is kind of touch on a few of the current issues this Thursday at 8 minutes after 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a somewhat cloudy afternoon in South Florida. We're going to take a look at some of the activity going on in the world, but in the context of our fact-finding trip to Israel on the 30th September, returning on the 9th, or if you want to stay with us and hang with us, party in Eilat with us, and Petra, right? We're going to be there.
Petra.
Yeah, we're going to be there. Rock the Rock. We're going to talk about that show too. We sent out last night, the United West sent out a very big email. Last chance, we're down to the wire. If you want to come with us, if you're listening to us on the radio, and you've never been to the Middle East, never been to Israel, this is the time to go. It is one of the most exciting times in history. And the group of people that are going, particularly some of the leadership, are very high-level folks. And if you have an interest in national security, we have national security people there. If you have history and an interest in the history of the Middle East, of Israel, we have historical people there. If you have a religious concern, we have religious people. Ron is trained in the rabbinate. I'm trained in the clergy. So I'm the Christian.
Judeo-Christian.
Judeo-Christian. We can speak very intelligently to the Christian history and Jewish history. Have you ever been to Israel?
No, this is my first time.
And you're taking us on a tour? It's your first time?
How many hundreds of thousands?
I'm letting God direct me.
Okay, yeah, the Spirit, as the Spirit leads
But
you.
just to make it clear to everybody, I'm from Israel. I was born in Israel, raised in Israel, educated in Israel, have my PhD in Christianity.
Yeah.
Based in Jewish roots. Just came back from Israel 2 days ago, and I'm a little bit scared to be in Florida because in Israel I felt very secured.
Yes.
It's probably the most secure place in the world. And those people who came with me to Israel, as I said, just came back 2 days ago, was there for 3 months doing some research and allowing people to join me on different expeditions in Israel. And the one question I heard from everybody on every one of these trips, and I had people coming from as far as Papua New Guinea, Trinidad and Tobago, everywhere in South America, Europe, United States, everybody asked me, where is the security? We don't see armed personnel in the street. We don't even see them at the airport. I said, because Israel is very, very secured. We don't have to show security in the streets because everything is there correctly. When you go to Israel, by the way, you don't even have to fill forms when you come in, like to any other countries, declaring who you are, what you are. you're being screened ahead of time. So when we come to Israel, we are secured, we are 100% safe, and I must tell you that if I had the choice to walk down the streets of Tel Aviv at 3 o'clock in the morning, or do it in Miami, I would, for security reasons alone, would choose to do it in Tel Aviv. And I did so. I want to tell you, guys, that I stayed in my place in Tel Aviv, which is on the beach, and every night I used to go from my apartment to have dinner at 11, 12 o'clock at night, which is normal time in Israel to have dinner. And the places were packed. So Israel is the place to be. Everything you hear on all the media stations, CNN, CBS, ABC, even Fox News, is magnified to a certain degree that proudly sells news. But nothing you see in Israel represents anything you see on television. Why it is, I don't know. But if I may, I would like to take a minute and tell a joke, okay? It's
Okay,
we got a joke.
It's a clean joke, but it will tell the story about why we in Israel do it in the way we do. And the joke, and I actually heard it from my rabbi in the synagogue. The story goes as follows. There are three guys, an Israeli, a Frenchman, and an American, that are going on an expedition in the middle of the jungle somewhere. And lo and behold, they're being caught by cannibals. And the cannibals tell them, we're going to eat you. This is your last day. We're going to feast on your flesh. This is your last day. But despite the fact that we are cannibals, we are also humane. So you have the right to ask for your last request, and we will grant you whatever you want. So they come to the American, they said, what would you like? American looks at them and says, well, this is my last day on earth. You know what, I can't do anything about it. A bottle of scotch and a good cigar, that will do me all right. Okay, they come to the French guy. What would you like? Said, well, I'll follow suit with the American, but I want a bottle of cognac. So, okay, we'll give you that as well. They come to the Israeli, what would you like? The Israeli looks at them and said, I would like a good kick in my behind. Everybody looks at him and said, well, you're out of your mind. This is your last few minutes on earth, and that's what you want. He said, yes, not only that, but I want the guy to kick me to be a giant. He said, okay, we'll give you the biggest guy we have. They bring him a guy over 6 foot tall. Said, is this good enough for you? He said, no, you had somebody bigger than that. They look, they bring another guy, said, would that do? The guy looks like Goliath, and he said, well, if this is the tallest guy, biggest guy you have, okay. So the guy tells the Israeli, why don't you bend down? And the Israeli bends down, the guy takes a few steps backwards, runs, kicks him in his behind, the Israeli flies in the air, a few somersaults, fall on his feet, pulls a gun from his belt, shoots everybody around, and they start running into the jungle like there's no way to go anywhere else. And a few moments later, they all stop. The American and the French look at the Israeli and say, "Are you crazy? You had a gun on you all this time, and you had us go through all this ordeal?" So the Israeli looks them to the eye and said, "Look, in this instance, I wanted to make sure that we could never be looked as the aggressors." So here we are. We live in Israel, and double standards.
That's right.
We Israeli have to always prove that we are not the aggressors, that we are the good guys, and everything goes according to different
standards.
And there is a double standard. But I can tell you, my friends, those who will come with us, you're going to have standard or no standard. You're going to have a good time in Israel because we know how to live in Israel. As I said, I just came back. I was there for 3 months. I didn't miss Florida at all. And I'm going again. I'm going again with Tom, with you. I want to have as many people as could possibly come with us. And as Tom said before, if you haven't been to Israel before, this is your time to go. Let me tell you something. Even if you've been to Israel before, you never saw Israel the way we are going to show you Israel. And that comes not only from the visits to some of the holy sites, which are important, but this is not why we're going. we're going to see Israel in an Israeli eye. We're going to see Israel from my eyes. We're going to see and meet with Israelis in different places. We're going to understand the problem in the Middle East, and we'll understand the region like you never thought possible before. When you come back to the United States of America, not only that you'll understand Israel better, but you will be probably a messenger of goodwill. So I take the opportunity here, if you listen to me, to tell you that call today. Make sure that you are a part of this trip, because this is not just a vacation. This is not just an expedition to see a new site.
Right.
This is really a course in history, and this is what will give you an understanding of what's going on in the Middle East, like you can't imagine. Now, if you understand the Middle East, you'll understand what's going on in America. If you really want to understand policy in America, and you really want to understand what goes wrong in America, come to Israel, see what's going on there, and then you take your own, you make your own decision of what's going on. We will meet there with people who will not only explain to us, but will show us firsthand the borders, the factions, the situation, the Israeli policy, the American policy will be in places that I can't talk about on the radio now, but you will be there. Each and every one of you will be scrutinized ahead of time, so those that come with us will be the right people to show and to explain.
That's right.
And I ask you, if you really are interested in what this program, the Trento program, is all about, come with us to Israel.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
That was great. That was great. I'd like to give him a chance to take a breath, but I'm so intrigued, and for people who haven't heard about this program before, I would love it if you could tell everybody, Ronnie, about some of the people who are going to be joining us on the tour as special speakers and guides, because it's not just about the program that you do during the day and the traveling and seeing the sights. There's also programs with special guests in the evenings who do special lectures and informative programs. So tell us a little bit
hang on
about who
for
we're
a second.
expecting.
I got a couple little things before you do that.
Oh, housekeeping?
No, well, we didn't even do that yet, did we? 5:18 in
didn't.
the afternoon. Tom Trento here. Tom Trento here. Tom Trento here. There
yeah.
we are. WNN 1470 if you're listening in your automobile. My name is Tom Trento. This is our show. We deal with national security issues. I direct an organization called The United West, theunitedwest.org. And it's a counterterrorism educational organization that seeks to fight for the principles articulated in the United States Constitution, number one. Seeks to stand with the state of Israel in her battle against all evil forces out there. We believe that Israel, apart from the theological reasons why many of us should stand with Israel, just from a selfish perspective, self-interest perspective, every American should stand with Israel for national security reasons. I think it was not Brent Scowcroft, but Alexander Haig. Alexander Haig said years ago, he said, I love Israel, he goes. If Israel wasn't there in the middle of the Middle East, in the Mediterranean, he said, I'd have to have a fleet of ships, aircraft carriers, Marines, sailors, Navy, Air Corps, stationed out there to provide the security in that region of the world that Israel does at no cost. We subsidize, we help Israel, but relatively speaking, we'd be spending 10 times that money annually, 20 times that money if 6-7 million people didn't have the courage and strength to go live in their homeland. So we stand with Israel as an organization. Number 3, we fight Islamic jihad. There's a jihad going on, and on this day, Thursday, 8 August 2013, with a wonderful foreign policy of this president and this administration, there are warnings everywhere in the world. You can walk down the street in Tel Aviv, but if you want to go in any of the other 23 or so Muslim countries around Israel, you can't do it, folks. because of the policies of this president, which have appeased, accelerated, embellished, excited the Islamic jihadis. So Ron is presenting Israel as a very safe and secure place, which is a great way. I've been presenting it, Ron, a little differently to my friends who live on the edge, like a little bit of excitement. I said, if you want excitement, you got to be with us in October, in the fall, in Israel, while all this stuff is going on around the world. And the folks, many of the folks that I roll with, Ron, like that kind of being on the edge. So the fourth thing we do, besides supporting the Constitution, defending it in Israel, and fighting Islamic jihad, we fight this president whenever his policies go awry, which are like every day.
Every day, yeah.
So that's what we do as an organization. If you'd like to help us, if you'd like to keep a tent on this circus, you can go to the United West and donate securely. Little button right there. Please do that. We thank Tea Party Community for putting our show on their homepage. We thank Bonnie up at barenakedislam.com, B-A-R-E, Bare Naked Islam. She will show you what Islam is all about through her editorials and her videos. Amazing work that Bonnie does.
Very graphic.
BizPack Review, a partner of ours in terms of getting news out. Great place to go, bizpackreview.net. Watchdogwire.com. Got to go there for great articles. Rich Swire, good friend, helped start the Florida Security Council, and the United West retired Lieutenant Colonel. Watch Steve and Brian every morning, 6 to 9. Watch Holly Meredith. She precedes us, 4 to 5. I say watch.
You mean listen.
Well, you can watch. She is broadcast. It's hard to find her, but you need to listen to her. WNN 14/7. Hey, Imam Abdullah, why are you
Yes,
making
my friend.
faces? Why are you making faces at me?
Because he doesn't like
because
the
it is radio station.
Okay.
We do radio here.
How have you been?
Right.
Oh, fantastic. I'm just glad to see your Western world falling apart. See your closed embassies, what you're running from Al-Qaeda. I'm having very good time.
Yeah, I guess you are, and indeed things are falling apart. But
I'm looking at your guest looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah, don't you feel intimidated by having a tough
Does your guest
Israeli?
want to take my kafia and strangle me with it?
no.
Only if you kick his butt first.
No, he's a very peaceful
You don't
man.
want to appear to be the aggressor, Ronnie.
That's right. That's why I said you have to kick his butt first.
You don't want to be the aggressor, that's right.
You know, in your language, we say dir balak.
Hey,
What does
please.
that mean?
Watch it.
Oh, watch it. Okay, deal. So
In
you
your
can learn,
language, we say shake it.
you can learn stuff
Check
like
it.
this when you come with us. But what I'd like to show you, Ronnie, get your comment on it, and then we're going to dive into the.
More about the program.
We're going to dive more about the program, but we found a piece of video out of Egypt that is
gosh.
absolutely fascinating, and we will run a little commentary over it. It's in Arabic, or it really is not much of a soundtrack. It's very visual, and what's going on in Egypt, what you're going to see in just a few in a moment. What you're going to see happening by the supporters of the Muslim Brotherhood. You guys ready? Somebody's got to give me a signal and say, "Yeah, we're
Yeah.
ready," and just tell me when you're ready, and then I'll tell you when to roll it. No, not yet. Not that one. Not that one.
I got it. You're going to come to camera 4. You're going to come to camera
Yeah, the one out of Egypt. That one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us a sec. When you see what happens here in Egypt by the supporters of the Muslim Brotherhood, we're gonna ask Ronnie about whether or not any of these antics go on in the occupied territories in the West Bank or Gaza. By the way, are we gonna come back to the wide shot? Are we going to cross the green
Yeah,
line?
I think you need to define what
We-
occupied
we're going to
is.
be in certain places in the green line, just past the green line. But again, I don't know how many people here understand that whatever we hear here in the West and in most places around the world, Palestinians are looking to have solutions being found now in Washington and negotiations and all this. I'll tell you something. I speak to many Palestinians that live in the West Bank, in Ramallah and all these places. These people are as happy as can be. These people really receive from Israel their daily manna bread. I don't think a Palestinian pays electric bill.
That's right.
I think Ramallah gets something to the tune of close to $1 billion shekel, which is $300 million a year, worth of electricity, and they don't even have to pay for it. Well, I don't know that status quo needs to be changed to make them any happier. Let me tell you another thing. When the Iron Dome situation took place in Gaza, at the same time missiles were landed in Israel, southern Israel, not just southern Israel, one came close to Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
At this very same time, the entire electricity came from Israel. All the oil, gasoline came from Israel. The daily manna, as I call it, the bread, convoys of Israeli trucks were standing in the border to bring food to the people of Gaza. So let's get things in the right perspective here. We talk about the problems, this, that, and the other. The problem is not between Israel and the Palestinians. The problem is that the whole world is mingling with the situation, and when you try to do something, then somebody is trying to get the best cards that being laid on the table.
Yep.
Let the cards fall where they may, and peace will come tomorrow, possibly. But certainly what's going on in the Middle East is is not what you hear in the media here.
No, and I went last year, and I know quite a bit of stuff about the history of Israel, all that, but to actually go there and experience what you're talking about changes your understanding, solidifies your positions, and makes you more effective in communicating this information. And one of the people coming on the trip told me, they said, looks like you guys are going past the green lines. I said, yeah. Said, well, a lot of tours out of the United States won't do that. Some large organizations that take people over there, they won't violate the green lines, right? And yeah, exactly. But this isn't that kind of tour. We're going wherever Ronnie points the bus. That's where we're going.
Listen. Let me point out something.
Hang on, is this mic on? I'm not really hearing it.
I
You're
hear
hearing it?
you.
Is the needle jumping?
As an Israeli
'Cause I'm not hearing them.
army personnel and the
You were in the
command-
Israeli
the
army.
Israeli army
Okay.
fought wars, etc., But everybody does. I have the responsibility for this group. The security of this group is first and foremost falls with me. We're not going to be in any place that I feel that I take a risk creating any situation. But when we talk about the green line and we talk about crossing the line, I want you to know that the city of Ariel, the city of Ma'ale Adumim, and other couple cities of this nature are big cities. The university, the college cities.
The big city, yeah, right.
The 45,000 people live in Ariel, and everything is there. We're going to visit Ariel.
That's
So-
on the other side of the green line.
Yeah, so
Tell
to-
everybody what the green line is.
So
They don't
to say
know what
the
that
green
is.
line, look, the green line is the borders of Israel in 1967. But really, they are not 67, they are 1948. Now, the Palestinians are now saying, hey, give us back the borders of 1967 and we'll have peace. I question that.
Yeah.
Because the 67 war took place when they had those borders.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
So what happened to create the war? Now,
They lost. That's what happened.
Yeah.
that's what happened,
Yeah.
and I don't know of any other country in the history of mankind that war was waged upon it or those countries that had to give back.
You won.
Didn't we
Give this-
didn't
you
we
get-
just have this conversation
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other day,
No, but-
yesterday?
But let me say something that maybe not too many people do understand. 1948 war never really stopped. Why? Because at one point when the Arabs realized that they're losing, they agreed to a ceasefire. Ceasefire is not peace agreements. So those areas that Israel agreed to live by after 1948 were not designated borders at all. They're just ceasefire lines. Now all of a sudden, those ceasefire lines become like the legal borders of Israel. Well, I would refuse to agree if you, my friend, would have a neighboring field to mine, and I, for some reason, allow you to use a part of it, and then after a while you tell me, you know what, you let me use it for a while, now it's mine.
That's
Well,
right.
It doesn't happen that way. Now, I think that we...
That's one of the pillars of Islam, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is. Yeah,
But,
it's
but
waffle.
what I say that we, and when I say we, I mean all Israel. When we talk about...
We have on the screen right now the
when we-
green lines
when
and all
we
that.
talk about the 1967 line, which are really the ceasefire of 1948,
49,
the,
yeah.
the point between one of the parts of the border to the sea, which is the width of Israel, is only 11 miles. Those are insecure. This, you cannot secure such borders. So if I was Bibi Netanyahu today, I would not allow negotiations to include giving back such a part of land. Now, we understand that there's a problem, and while you come on a tour, we will explain all this in a way that you will never understand me talking to you now, because I'll take you on location. But when we are there, you'll understand that even if we agree to give and take, there's got to be some more reasonable discussions of where those borders are. Now, I'm not saying that I am not willing to see an autonomy part of Israel that are completely governed by the Palestinians. And maybe in another program I'll explain what Palestinians are, because I don't think there's a Palestine. Palestine is just a name that was given to the entire region, and slowly after 1967, that part of Israel became Palestine, conveniently. But again, we'll explain it more in Israel. And again, I urge you, if you really want to know more about what I'm talking about now, and it is fascinating because I had thousands and thousands of people come with me to Israel on some of these programs, and again, those are not just tours, those are not vacations. This is really a learning experience. This is an expedition to understand the truth about the Middle East and Israel. So come with me and let's really understand what this is all about. Now, for me, when I fought in 1967, I was in Jerusalem. For me to think that part of Jerusalem is not going to be in the hands of Jerusalem is asinine. It's just something that we can't accept.
Thank you.
And therefore, to really follow what I'm saying and understand it, you need to be with me. For instance, in Jerusalem, we will be walking on the borders of 1967. We will understand what the Temple Mount is. We'll understand what the East Jerusalem is. We'll understand what East Jerusalem is. We'll understand the borderline around Jerusalem that today is solid Jewish neighborhood. We'll try to understand why it happened. We will also try to understand why they, meaning the Palestinians, don't like it very much. But they have tremendous advantages from this situation as well. Nobody talks about it because it's not convenient. On the trip, we will discuss it. So please, if you really want to understand, come with us.
All right, now this is very important, folks. Ron has a degree in Christian studies, a degree in Judeo studies, rabbinic studies, born in Israel, educated in Israel, fought in the wars in Israel, the Israeli Defense Forces. And for the past 30 years, he's been taking people from the United States to Israel back and forth on these tours, taken over 100,000 people, never lost one, right? Over 100,000 people, has covered every square inch of this country that's the size of New Jersey, knows it inside out. If you ever wanted in a 2-week period to get a degree in Mideast studies, and this, I guarantee you, if you did a 2-year degree at a local school in Middle Eastern studies, you'll learn more in 2 weeks on this tour for less money in a more dramatic, experiential way. I sound like I'm doing a commercial. And you'll learn more on this thing.
So
But no,
don't delay.
really.
Call today.
Yeah, don't delay. Call
Ronnie.
today. Sign up.
Ronnie,
But-
out of your 100,000 people that you've taken, how many do you know who you've changed their lives and have actually moved to Israel after going on one of your trips?
With me to Israel.
Air conditioner.
Well,
That's the crazy noise I
we're
hear.
Christians, and many of them came to Israel to volunteer, even in the army. And I'm glad to say
Checklist.
I'm glad to say that some of the Jewish kids that came with me made Aliyah, served in the army, and stayed in Israel. And I want to say to people that haven't been to Israel that you are into a culture shock that you can never imagine. Israel is really a biblical prophecy coming to fruition. It's one of the incredible places in the Middle East that are so super modern and so super advanced in everything, in technologies and everything else. And yet the past has been preserved. So we're going to be in the old places of Israel. We're going to understand the Bible. We're going to understand what Israel is going through. And we will, first and foremost, understand the history of Israel. Current events is part of it, but also the history. You know, sometimes when I come to debate intellectuals in campuses, and I believe campuses today is the battle line, You know, this is where we fight the wars. So sometimes I'm being asked to either moderate or to talk. The rules that I try to set up is from what date do we start the debate. Once we agree on a date,
Right.
I'm okay. Now, I don't care if the date is an hour earlier or the date is 3,000 years
Right.
earlier. But as long as we agree on a date, I'm okay. And on this trip, when I take you to Israel, we will sit and we will discuss all these ramifications of agreeing on dates and so on and so forth. I will explain to you what Palestinian is all about. My father was a Palestinian. Why? Because I carry a Palestinian passport. So I would like to see somebody from East Jerusalem or from Ramallah to say to me, I am not, you gotta move, and we are in. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Now they know me there, and they respect me there. I feel more secure there than any other place in the Middle East. But they know that when I talk, I give them credence. I really allow them to speak. And when we come together, we usually agree on many, many things that they wouldn't agree on television, on radio, or any other media. So my knowledge of the region, my understanding of the region is an asset. And what I'm saying to you again, those who are listening to me now, if you really want to understand Israel and the Middle East and the policy of the United States of America,
Yes.
then you need to come with us to Israel.
Yes.
You know, Tom mentioned before with General Haig. I have the utmost respect to him. I believe that he should have been buried on Mount Herzl in Jerusalem, which is the equivalent to Arlington Cemetery in D.C. Why? Because he was Israel's #1 hero in the American administration. I would like to talk to you more about this when you come with me to Israel. There is so much to know, there's so much to understand, and to my understanding, it doesn't happen on any other trip to Israel. So this is a unique trip, this is not a vacation, this is not just a trip, this is not going to Rome, London or Paris. This is really an education, and I'm asking you to come.
This is real life. Hey, Ron, come back to the picture for a second. You're a tough guy, Israeli, but what is that pink thing in your hand? I'm not understanding that.
This belongs to my girlfriend here.
No, it doesn't. It belongs to him.
I don't know, mine. That's yours, man. That's yours. No, Ron took my compact that CJ gifted me the other day.
I gave it
Don't
to him
mess
as a
with my
present.
compact.
He's
okay?
playing with it, yeah.
All right, no, well said, Ron. You're making me excited about going because.
Plus, the food is really good, right?
but-
let's not forget about that,
but look,
please.
But yeah, you got to stay on that one. But
But
will our folks have a chance to dip themselves in the Dead Sea?
Listen, we're going to have a trip. We're going to have a tour of Israel. We're going to cover all the important places, all the places that tourists like to go. But even on the bus, we're going to going to these places. We're going to use it to explain policies, and we're going to explain history, and we're going to talk about things that usually you don't hear. We will be in the Dead Sea. We'll be in the Jordan River. We will be in the Galilee. We'll be in the Golan Heights. We will be in Haifa, we will be in Tel Aviv, we'll be in Jerusalem. We will cover Israel like you can't believe it. You know, we will be doing a lot of things. Those that have reasons to be in Israel for religion affiliation, and would like to even be baptized could be baptized. Those who want to hear about the ministry of Jesus in Galilee, actually we're looking at the
right there,
very picture at the moment on the screen here in the studio, would listen to what we have to say about the Sermon on the Mount.
Haifa.
We will take a boat ride on the Sea of Galilee, and I will explain to you what it means there to be just below the Golan Heights and life in that region before the '67 war and the taking over of the Golan Heights. So we will be in all these places. We will understand Israel from a historical point of view. We will see all the tourist attractions. We will enjoy them. There'll be a lot of camera opportunities to take many pictures from different places. You come back, you'll feel a little bit like a tourist, but more importantly, you will feel like you graduated the course.
Yep.
And that course for less than 10 days should really be a 2-year university course, and we will cover it all. We will cover it all. I am there to teach. I'm there to educate. I'm there to allow you to understand what the Middle East and Israel is all about. And more importantly, for you Americans, I would like to tell you what the American foreign policy in Israel is doing, what it should be doing, how it could be improved, and what's going on behind the scene. Not everything that you see or read is what is. So, we'll clear a lot of issues.
That's beautiful, for sure. And we got about 6 weeks left at 42 minutes after 5 o'clock. 6 weeks left before we take off from wherever your departure point is into Ben Gurion. And you're right, Ron. On this trip, because we've advertised it publicly, and I asked Ron, I said, who knows who's going to come on the trip? He goes, don't worry about it. The Israeli government has to clear everybody, and if they don't clear somebody, they don't give us reasons why. They just say no, yes, no, yes. So if you've been cleared by the Israeli government to come into it's their country, understand that, then there's no security issues at all whatsoever with the folks we're traveling with, and we know everybody anyway. But when I was there last year, it was very interesting. When you get there, it's almost like they do know you. Hi, yeah, you're Mr. Trento, right? Yeah. How are you? How's where your office is? They knew where my office was. How's that? And how they knew personal stuff about me. And these are 25, 30-year-old the security people, dressed very nicely, young women, young men, speaking perfect English. And they're just reading you up and down, making sure you are who you say you are, and it was a very interesting experience. Remember that, Mike? Yeah. That was very cool.
It's not like getting frisked by the TSA.
No, nobody touched me.
Yeah.
They went through all our camera gear and all that, and they were very nice and professional, and not a problem. But Ron, let's do this because. Not only are we telling people, you gotta, in the next couple of days, folks, we're shutting this down. If you're interested, give them the money stuff. Everybody wants to know how much it is.
I don't know. You know the money
I
stuff.
know the money stuff. Well, you can go to right there, heritagestudyprograms.com for, click on the Frank Gaffney trip. You'll see it. It's about $2,600, $2,700 for the 9-10 days. There is an extension.
There's an extension to go to Eilat after the trip to Israel, and from Eilat we actually venture to Jordan, the country of Jordan, to visit Petra. Again, very secured, done it a million times, and just came back from there actually. And it's fun. Obviously it's going to cost a little bit more because it's an extension, it's not a part of the tour, but yeah. But again, I'm telling you, as Tom told you, there's very little time left because we have to close the registration. Simply, from my point of view, I have to return the unused hotel rooms back to the hotel inventory. Otherwise, I have to pay for those rooms. And we practically have about 10 days before this happens.
All that happens, yeah.
And if you really are interested in what we said here today, then make sure that you book. If you need any help, just let us know what you need. We'll try to do the best we can. But come to Israel. Even if you've been to Israel before, please allow me to say that once again. Even if you've been in Israel before. You haven't seen Israel the way we're going to be seeing Israel.
Fresh
And
eyes.
you will never understand Israel the way you will understand Israel when you come with us. So my interest in all this, being an Israeli, is to allow you to understand it. So when you come back, you're going to be messengers of goodwill. You become an ambassador because you'll be able to answer. You will be able to sit in the debate. You'll be able to listen to people that tell you propaganda and tell them, look, you're full of it, because we've been there, we understood it, we've seen it firsthand, and what you're saying to us is not true. So I'd like you to come to Israel to become ambassadors. That's as simple as I can say it. And,
No, it's beautiful.
Plus fun. We
it's
we
gonna
left
be-
out that it's fun. I
it's-
mean, you guys have these larger than life personalities. No matter what you're doing. I mean, we already know you have a sense of humor, you know, with that joke earlier. And Tom, of course, he's going to keep everybody rocking and
we'll
rolling.
keep you rocking and
How many
rolling.
people on your bus, Tom?
I think we're going to have probably one bus, probably what 40 people,
about
40, 50 people?
About 40 people, which
Yeah.
is very intimate,
That's
very
nice.
good, and we can
Yeah,
actually
so
handle
that's
it very
it's going to
nicely.
be a good group. It's
But-
going to
but-
be a good time.
you have a
and,
good point,
and good
because-
fellowship and camaraderie
For life.
for life with not just the people who are presenting the programs, but the people who you meet, who you're on the tour with, that become your friends when you come back home. So
One of the key things, Ronnie is an expert on Mideast policy, history, theology, all of that, and Israeli national security. He is an expert on that.
Right.
Frank Gaffney is one of the leaders of this. He's one of the foremost international, but certainly United States
That's
national
right.
security experts. So you're going to be with two people in the middle of the universe
Yeah.
who know a tremendous amount of information on security issues, which we are dealing with every second of the day. But you're right, CJ, because as you're doing all this stuff, you know, on the programs and going here and listening and the featured speakers,
Yeah.
and the people
which is
from
like
the
every
Knesset.
night.
Yeah.
Featured speakers after dinner every night.
But there's always these half hour, you know, getting ready to get on the bus, sitting on the
Yeah.
bus, these little moments where you just hang and talk among yourself and you laugh and you go have a drink afterwards.
Exactly. That's
um,
what makes the trip for a
and
lot of people.
In Israel, Israel, unlike the United States, you can buy Cuban cigars, folks. So we're gonna have fun with that. We're gonna have fun with that. Yeah. But
But
Ron,
you're not
here's what I want to
smoking
do.
them on the bus. I'm
At f-
telling you that right
Yeah,
now.
okay. At 49 minutes after 5 o'clock on August 8th, Tom Trento, WNN, 1470, TrentoVision.tv, Ron Wexler here, leading our tour to Israel September 30th through the 9th of October. If you want to have the extension fine, under $3,000, you can have a trip of a lifetime, plus air. A lot of people are using miles. They're borrowing miles from their friends, all
They're
of
getting
that.
sponsored by their friends and families and their churches
Yep.
to put together the miles to pay for the airfare.
Well,
I think people know where to get the money if they want to come.
if they want
you
to
know,
come.
that's not
Yeah. They
the,
can.
the issue is that we're going to have a trip of a lifetime.
Oh, without question.
And as you said, you know, food is great.
Yeah,
Food
I
is
mean,
really great.
I hate to be a girl about it, but you left out good food, good wine, good fun. You know, it's
Oh,
not
wine,
just all
definitely.
serious, right?
Definitely.
I was surprised
Yeah.
because usually it's like Manischewitz. You go, give me a break.
No,
People
no,
don't know what Manischewitz in Israel.
they don't know from that there.
What are you talking about? That's good
Please,
stuff.
Imam, please, uskut. You know what uskut is? Uskut in Arabic is be quiet.
No, that was our Jewish guy, Schmutzy.
Yeah, that was
okay.
Schmucky
Okay.
Putznick.
Sorry.
I'm one of you.
But you look
Tex,
Arab.
I'm one of you. What are you
But
talking?
you look Arab. Anyway, to be serious, to be serious now, truly, best wine in Europe that was, I think, won at least 3 or 4 different occasions was the wine from Israel, from the Golan Heights, from all places. So that's one place we can give to Syria because
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah,
the
right.
Golan Heights. That's what Syria wants,
we
right?
can't lose the wine.
No,
Yeah,
again, there's the wine.
I
the
don't think
vineyards
that's
there.
happening.
So good wine, good food. We schmooze. We gonna have good
Yeah.
time.
Here's what I want to do right now. You were in Israel for the past 3 months.
Right.
You were there for the whole upheaval in Egypt, which is just on the southern border. What's it, a couple hundred miles from Cairo to Jerusalem?
No, it's more than that. But yeah, it's a neighboring country.
Okay. So you saw the news, you sensed everything that was going on. I want to roll this video right now. Take a look at, these are the supporters of former President Mohammed Morsi. And I'm going to show you what they're doing and ask you if this has ever happened in any place in Israel. And then we want to get your input. You know, we've talked about the trip, all of that, but we want you as an analyst now to help us understand what's going on in Israel and what the United States and what Israel need to be looking out for as Egypt goes through some serious transitions. Take a look at this video. I'll have to narrate it. What we have is, if you're watching on TrentoVision, because there's really, there's no, it's a crowd of people with signs like you'd see at any protest. A director told them to start screaming and then stand and pose. They are now standing and posing. For all of you driving in your automobiles, go to youtube.com/TheUnitedWest and watch today's show on our archives. Right now, the camera's zooming in on two men bandaged, holding each other. Everything we're watching by the supporters of Mohammed Morsi is staged.
It's a complete fabrication.
This is right out of Philippe Carcente.
Yep.
Yeah.
Al-Dura, the Al-Dura,
Yeah.
Mohammed Al-Dura situation.
Calsanti.
And watch as we move the camera now. There's several video cameras and several still cameras moving through the crowd, close-ups on the signs. Now you'll start to see they move in on bloodied people, bloodied and bandaged people. Fake blood, fake bandages, but
Fake people.
they're creating visual propaganda to send worldwide to show, here, look at this. Describe that.
That is a woman in a niqab and a woman in a burqa and a doctor, and the woman in the niqab looks like she's either dying or dead, being held by the woman
Yeah.
in the burqa and a doctor.
Yeah.
Here's a guy that clearly is posed to look dead, only you could see him breathing.
Yeah.
More fake dead people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these are still
Fake
shots.
emergency workers holding fake dead person with cameraman right over.
Look at this. This is Pallywood gone
Guy
wild.
looking up to Allah
Yeah.
with fake dead guy on lap.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is.
When
Ron,
you talk about the Palestinians,
well, let's
this is the modus operandi of the Palestinians. This is the Palestinian worldview that we see,
Pallywood.
and now
This is
it's
Pallywood.
Let's hear-
Pallywood.
he-
And now
at
we
its most
see,
perfect.
and
he
now
hasn't
we
seen
have
this.
Egypt.
We've seen this. He
copying
hasn't seen
it.
You just saw that. What are you?
I don't understand why you're so surprised. We've been saying it for years and years. Everything is fake.
Well,
If there would be no cameras in the Middle East, there would be peace tomorrow.
well, you know
That's
what?
interesting.
I tell you one thing. What you were talking about earlier about peace breaking out tomorrow if everybody just bugged out. I say peace will break out when between the Palestinians and the Israelis, when the Palestinians stop that kind of propaganda, when they stop the anti-Semitic and anti-Zionist incitement in their schools, their textbooks, their
Never happened.
media, their newspapers, their colleges.
Listen,
It's all
Impossible.
for
It is
show.
it is
the
our
whole
ideology.
thing is for show to
I-
control their population. When they
I
stop
drove-
that,
I drove to the city of Jericho just less than 10 days ago. There was no roadblock going in. There was no roadblock coming out. I did the same thing to Bethlehem. There was no block coming in. Nobody stopped me coming out. We getting distorted idea about what's going on in the Middle East. Yeah, there's a problem, but the problem is the cameras that being stationed there.
right? That's
And
what
they're
I'm
being
saying.
used to the
Who's
utmost,
using
and
them?
That's it.
Yeah.
Now, people do not have the problem we in the West tend to believe that exist. In Egypt, it's a different story. In Egypt, forever, there was a man, a strong man, that controlled Egypt. A dictatorship is the way to go. And not everywhere in the world democracy can take a hold. And sometimes even the Bible talks about a kingdom, which is not a democracy. And if God needed to create the world tomorrow and use the democracy, probably there would be no world. So we have to be a little bit easy with all these things and allow things to unfold. But you know, when we come to Israel, we will have a better understanding of everything I'm saying here in the studio. If you really are interested to understand more, go to the phone right now, or when you can, register for the trip. It's not a tour; it's a trip. It's really a seminar on wheels, and every night.
Seminar on wheels. I like that.
And every night we will have a panel discussion with the best Israel has to offer. People
Give them the number because we're starting to run out of time here. How should they contact you?
Well, either go on the website or call
355-9994.
Yeah.
800-355-9994, or just send an email to me, tom@TrentoVision.tv. We'll send you all the information. But all right, well,
come with
hey.
Ron and see past the lies that you see on TV every day and you see on the news every day. This fake life that is staged to influence the world against Israel and the Jewish people. You need to see past that, and he'll show you what the truth is.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Life is good for people there, and you just don't hear about it.
This is it. I want you to see Israel for what Israel is all about, and you'll be amazed once you go to Israel.
All right.
I want to go now.
I know.
Why do we have to wait?
What else do we need? We got about a minute left. What else do we need to cover? Well, let me tell everybody who's just tuning in. You just missed a very interesting show on our trip, not a tour, our trip to Israel. We're leaving from the United States September 30th. The trip ends on October 9th. There is a couple of day extension. But you can come from anywhere in the world. I have friends that are going to be in Europe, that are doing some business in Europe, then coming over from Europe to Israel. Actually, everything starts on October 1st, right? Monday, October 1st?
Yes.
Yeah. So, we'll all meet together in TA. How's that? I know some of this stuff. It's TA. You know what TA is?
Tel Aviv.
Okay, Tel Aviv. See that?
No, TA is not Tel Aviv.
What is it?
TLV.
No, but everybody, they call it TA. In the States, we
See,
call it TA.
I know how he thinks.
Okay?
I knew he was going to say
That's
Tel
the
Aviv.
colloquialism. Oh, yeah, not the airline 3-letter symbol.
Not the airport designation.
No. We're talking like hip talk, TA. You know, when you go to SA in
like
the States.
San Fran.
Yeah. No, don't ever say that. They hate that. Or Frisco.
Well, I know.
They hate that. You know where SA is in the States? SA?
San Antonio.
San Antonio. So we're all going to meet on October 1st in TA, folks, Tel Aviv. Be there. And it really will be a life-changing trip. And you had a good point.
Beautiful.
You had a good point before, CJ, that some of the personalities on the trip are going to be interesting and fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ron has laid out generals, Knesset members, intelligence officers, all these people that will be the subset of the teaching program on this trip. Simply amazing.
Which is part of the reason why everybody's going to get checked out really well before they go on the trip.
Yeah, everybody gets checked out. And if you don't make it, don't feel bad. It doesn't mean you're a horrible person. Just means you ain't coming. That's
But
all.
you got to tune in tomorrow also.
All right, we
What
got
do
to say
have
goodbye
tomorrow?
right now. Everybody say goodbye. Bye-bye,
Thank
Ron.
you.
See ya.
Bye, shalom,
See you.
shalom.
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 Take it easy.